Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ceylon Graphite's channel, involved in the exploration and production of graphite for the future of battery tech. Joining us today is the Chief Executive Officer, Don Baxter. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks, Kyle. Great to be here as always.
Such a pleasure to have you back. You've been out exploring, actually visiting your properties in Sri Lanka. And today, I guess we're going to do a little bit of a show and tell. You brought back a ton of photos and videos that should offer some real good clarity and insights. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for you is just pull this up. And I mean, feel free to talk about this and just give us any insights that you think are prevalent here, starting with what are these guys doing?
Excellent. Well, these guys are actually loading a shaft. We're actually deepening the shaft at our K1 mine. So he's actually got probably even in his hand, there's probably some explosives. That's a blasting mat. So we actually mat the blast so they don't, send things, rock flying everywhere. So the key purpose of what we're doing, the main activity right now at K1 is deepening the shaft. So we're getting down into a better vein system. And so I climbed down the shaft. We're about 180 feet down. We're going to 220 into the vein system. But it's actually quite interesting to, to sort of see this thing come to life. And it is a past producing mine, so there's all sorts of other workings above us, but we're sinking into new territory here. And the vein systems go to depth, so we're following our geologist lead. And interesting thing is sinking the shaft too. We just come into some old workings as well. We intersected actually a rather large vein that we can see where it's been backfilled. It was mined. But yet the other side of it, as it cross sections the shaft, it's still there. So I brought some pictures of that back as well too. But it's quite interesting to sort of see this thing come to life. And I think many times people hear about these mines in Sri Lanka and it's far away, but this sort of makes it real. You look at this shaft being sunk. I stood here on the platform above the bottom of the shaft here, and just talking with I've got to my right is a mining engineer, and then to my left on the other platform is our mine general manager and our geologist we may or may not see. But the guys down below are just prepping. They're just finishing up some final drilling, and then we are there's a blast that as I climbed up out of the shaft that we set off a blast. So at the very bottom here to the right corner is an old mined out vein, and my mining engineer tells me it was about 1 meter wide. Which is exciting because that's the system that we're going down into. So that'll keep going to depth, but it cross sections on the other side. So as Pasindu is showing me that vein, I suggested what the width is, and he said it's probably was 1 meter wide. There's an old timber across there, so they probably would have come in from the other side. Other workings from the probably early 1940s, I would imagine. So again, our team, our mining work crew is down there, and we're talking about going to the next system. But there's actually a vein to the left, sort of cross-cutting that shaft. So again, we're down to about 180 feet here, and then these vein systems just go to depth. So we're looking to get down below this, and it'll go to depth. So that's Janica and Sarah. Those are our geologists and another mining engineer. Basically, overseeing the work and just basically give me an update on things. So again, what I'm also seeing as a mining engineer, I'm looking at the shaft, the wall, the rock is solid, competent rock. So we're getting into some good systems. So this should be a very good, solid structure to work from for long term. And we'll just keep sinking the shaft deeper as we open up hopefully multiple mining phases here too. So that in itself, again, it just shows the reality of this. It's a mine. It's not just on paper. It's real.
So as this project expands out, how deep are you guys going to be going down into this shaft?
We can basically go as deep as needed. So what I want to do, typically, Sri Lankan mining is you get down to one area and then you mine it and you move to the next. I want to get multiple areas working. We talked about there was an old adit that I want to reopen, and we have to do some geotechnical work. Well, actually, it's already done. We have to do some work to advance to give us an access, level access in, and then I want to sort of mine past that. This material here, I just took a picture that's sitting on the surface. It was brought up. This is from the vein that we intersected through the shaft, which is just right where the workers are right now. So this is some pretty decent high grade stuff. And again, this is what we're sinking into, solid, probably, plus 90% carbon, graphitic carbon. And we're getting into some more of this. So as far as going to depth, like the veins do go to depth. So a nearby mine, I was down working government mine, I was down 1,000 feet. So and that mine went down even deeper than that, but it only went down 1,000 feet. So we'll have this from multiple mines. So even our M1 mine, so we'll be down not quite as deep as this into the systems, but so we'll have we should be pulling ore or graphite. I can't use the term ore because I don't have the proper documentation from feasibility study. So that's an economic term I'm not allowed to use. But we'll be down into the graphite vein at 220 feet. We'll be mining that up, defining the stope from there. Probably by July we should be there. That's the plan right now. The schedule. And then our M1 mine, the same. We'll be producing graphite from that about the same time period. So we should have 2 mines up and running, producing graphite and gradually increasing the tonnage from that. So one of my tasks there was basically to get the guys to give me the short-term, long-term planning schedules, timing on hoisting. We talked about increasing the hoist size. Right now it's a pretty small tonnage that it can hoist, and we'll increase that. So we can pretty much triple the amount we can hoist out of the ground pretty quickly, and then again double that with just some methods of how we can hoist and move more material. So it's pretty exciting to see it coming to fruition. And again, what I look at is getting to some decent tonnage production and just moving on again. And I'm quite happy the fact that our second mine will be permitted shortly as well. So we should have some announcements of our renewal of our mine permit at K1, and then M1. We should have our permit soon following that one. It's not permitted yet, but it was going from exploration to production permit, and then again with what the work we have to do there, we should be hoisting graphite by summer, which is exciting as well too.
So this is going to be a pretty pivotal year.
Absolutely, and this comes out this parallels to our work with manufacturing the batteries. I think we talked about our silicon enhanced materials. We're looking to come out with some more. We're still working on the full cell data there, so we're just getting more and more exciting. The whole graphite space is getting more exciting. More of the OEMs are coming downstream, talking to us, or upstream, however you would look at it. And it's just, we should be announcing our signing leases in our facilities in the UK. And again, this is all about batteries. So the fact that we've got this unique graphite product that makes a very good battery in Sri Lanka, we've got lots of it. We just have to continue to develop mines, and we may end up with 10, 20, 30 mines. We have enough ground to cover that. And that's part of my task as well, as we're looking at K1, M1. Where's our next areas to develop, and so the guys are looking at that, and we've got a good team over there that's actually giving us that site. And I'll probably go back again in April, May, and again just continue advancing the project. It's actually pretty exciting, and being an engineer, this is what I do, so I'm excited to do this and have not just talk about it but actually do it. So again, a producing operating entity is quite exciting.
It's nice to see you actually getting in the groundwork. I know a lot of people talk about the mines, but you never really see the CEOs or a lot of the people on the board of directors really kind of getting their hands dirty going down on the shaft. So
exactly, and I definitely got my hands dirty going down the shaft, and it's climbing down the ladders. And going down is not as bad as coming up. And of course, being the oldest guy there, I can't let these guys get ahead of me. I got to show that the CEO can still climb the ladders as fast as they can. And it was pretty exhausting at the top of when I got to the top of the shaft.
For sure. But on that note, Donald, I definitely appreciate you giving these insights today. Thanks so much for coming out.
Thanks, Kyle. Always a pleasure. Good to see you.
Always a pleasure. On that note, folks, I really want to pass a question off to you. What do you guys think about this in that comment section below? I'd love to hear about it, and consider subscribing, because obviously as this news comes down the wire, we get to see these projects expand this year. We're all going to be releasing it here. So stay cool, stay awesome. And as always, I look forward to catching you in the next one.